All right, let's get you more from Bangladesh, where protests continue in Dhaka over the death of a youth leader of the country's 2024 pro-democracy uprising. Protesters vandalized the partially demolished house of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. They were seen attempting to tear down the remaining portion of the house and setting fire to a poster of the ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Sharif Osman Hadi, remember, who was injured in an assassination attempt last week, has died in a hospital at Singapore. This following a night of unrest. Several buildings in the capital, including those housing the country's two leading newspapers, were set on fire. Now, the first attack came on Prathamalo, where the crowd had gone chanting slogans. The crowd vandalized the office before setting it on fire around 12 a.m. They then vandalized the ground and first floors of the Daily Star, another leading newspaper, before putting it ablaze at about 12:30 a.m. The blaze quickly engulfed the two floors, sending a huge column of smoke into the air. Meanwhile, the fire service could not reach the building for some time because a crowd blocked their way. The entire night shift fled to the roof to save their lives, pleading for help through phone calls and social media posts. Firefighters eventually reached the site and brought the fire under control at about 2 a.m. However, the journalists could not be brought out immediately because the crowd stormed the building after the fire was extinguished. The protesters also targeted the office of Awami League, seeking the return of Sheikh Hasina. The House of India's deputy ambassador to Bangladesh was also surrounded by hundreds of people who were trying to demonstrate a sit-in protest, but the police mopped tear gas shells to disperse the crowd. The protesters also blocked a key highway leading from the capital and attacked the residence of a former minister in Chittagong. Protesters also attacked Chayanot, which is a center in Dhaka devoted to Bengali culture. Earlier on Friday, Singaporean authorities announced that Hadi died in a local hospital. The country's Foreign Affairs Ministry in a statement said that it was assisting Bangladeshi authorities with repatriating his body. The interim government in Bangladesh, headed by Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus, also confirmed Hadi's death.
I want to state clearly that Osman Hadi was an enemy of the defeated forces of fascist terror. Any attempt to silence his voice to intimidate revolutionaries will be decisively resisted. The country's march toward democracy cannot be halted through fear, terror, or bloodshed.
The government also announced special prayers at mosques on Friday and a half-day mourning on Saturday. Bangladeshi police have meanwhile launched a manhunt for Hadi's shooters, releasing photographs of key suspects and offering a reward of $42,000 for information leading to their arrest. All right, those have been visuals that have been coming in out of Bangladesh since late last night after the death of Osman Hadi. Let me go across to WION's Assistant Editor for Foreign Affairs, Siddhant Sibbal, who's getting us more on this. Siddhant, a rather concerning situation that is now unfolding in Bangladesh. What's the latest that you're picking up as far as these protests are concerned?
Well, situation remains precarious and dangerous as well. One does expect protests happening as the day progresses today, especially given the fact that the body of Osman Hadi is expected to reach Dhaka from Singapore later today. We know that one day national mourning has been announced that will take place on Saturday. But in last 1 hour, we have seen 2 press releases being issued by the office of Muhammad Yunus. One saying that he has spoken to the editors of the newspaper which were burned down, the headquarters of the newspapers which were burned down, and offered condolences and security. And in another release, he has asked the nation to make sure that there is no repeated violence. But will the extremist element listen to him? The genie is out of the bottle, and we saw that yesterday happening. In fact, yesterday he had said that there should not be any violence, and within a matter of few hours we saw widespread violence not only in the capital Dhaka but across the country. So the situation remains precarious and something that not only the Bangladeshis are monitoring but across the region it is being watched carefully.
Siddhant, and we'll have to wait and watch what Muhammad Yunus does for it. The irony, of course, being that he's a Nobel Peace Prize winner, and the kind of situation that has unfolded under his regime in his country is quite concerning. Siddhant Sibbal, thank you very much for joining us at the moment.